Welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills and today's segment of The Real Secrets of Money. Our topic focuses on strategies that are available and accessible to you this very day on caring for the health care and financial requirements for children, adults, and seniors who have special needs. The care and advocacy of special needs outreach is a subject that will probably touch every person and family in this world at some point in their lifetime. We may not acknowledge or want to talk about the challenges of caring for a special needs individual, but it is a very real occurrence and prevalent. Our first guest is a financial services professional who serves the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, spending considerable time researching and offering a variety of financial services and products to her clients. Our second guest is a certified senior advisor, a member of the National Guardianship Association, and a member of the Money Managers Association. She also serves as a commissioner on the Arlington County Board Commission on Long-Term Residences Council. Please welcome returning guest, Ms. Carrie Grant, Regional Marketing Manager with First Financial Security, Inc., and Ms. Alice P. Paxton, Managing Director of IKOR of the Greater D.C. area. Ladies, welcome to The Real Secrets of Money.
Thank you.
Thank you, Celia.
Good. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Very good. Now we're going to get started because I must have 200 questions.
There's a lot to cover.
For each of you, so I have to cover. Okay. So we're going to start out with Alice. Alice, tell us about IKOR of the Greater D.C. area.
Well, IKOR is a company that works on behalf of seniors and those with disabilities of all ages. We're advocates providing a voice for those who have kind of gotten lost in the system or don't know where, how to manage it. And we come in and help them with their life.
Okay. So is it just in the D.C. area, or do you branch out in other areas in the United States?
No, we are a franchise company.
Okay.
And so we have around 11 franchises around the United States. Right now we're more focused on the eastern seaboard, but we're going across the United States as well as we grow. As we grow.
Okay.
So part of our company too, I wanted to mention is people will say advocacy, and what's an advocate?
Right.
And that we do talk with people, but the main core of our business, I think, is easy to understand if you think of a three-leg stool, because we provide assessments that cover the medical, psychosocial, and environmental aspects of a person's life. So we want to make sure those three stools are equal.
Right.
And
That's good.
And so doing that, we always work keeping clients as help them find their visibility, that they're not lost in the healthcare system.
Which is easy to do.
Yes,
right?
yes,
It's
nowadays.
Right, that's
Very
right.
true.
Well, Carrie, we are going to, I'm trying to figure out, I know what you do, and I'm now learning what Alice does. How did you guys meet, and do your disciplines intersect with one another, or are you just kind of like each other?
I think our services complement each other. So we've run into each other a number of times at different networking events that are focused on either retirement planning or senior assistance groups or things of that nature in the DC area. And so we're like, okay, what is it that you do? So she's, as she's mentioned, helping the different individuals, seniors or special needs or whoever it is that needs the assistance. And so I, on the financial side, help to find ways to pay for those services or to help families to prepare for the future so that if and when these types of things come up, they're financially prepared for that.
Okay. Well, I have some other questions for you on that, but I want to hear a little bit more about Alice, and I'm going to call them definitions. We hear the term life management and case management. Are those one of the two? Are they two of the same thing, or are they different? Can you explain
they
that?
are different. Sure. Life management is a part of what we do. It was developed all around safety. Again, for our seniors, that three-legged approach of medical, psychosocial, environmental, that our seniors are safe under those three conditions when they're living at home. We do expect not expect, that's the wrong word, but we want our seniors to age in place as long as they can. Most of them want to be at home and
Yes.
stay at home.
Yes.
And so that is our goal, and that helps us. So in life management, we work with safety with our seniors.
Okay.
As a fiduciary, being a fiduciary, you have either a legal standing or an ethical requirement to serve your client in the best way possible. We serve as fiduciaries in capacity of power of attorney, for instance. I have a client, I am power of attorney, and she had a beloved nephew who was playing on her heartstrings at times and needed money. Well, when I came the power of attorney, I was able to talk with him because the year before he had asked for $14,000 from her account. She did not have this much in her estate. And we were brought on because this client is in early stages of Alzheimer's. And so we work to, fiduciary with the wealth advisors, such as Carrie, to make sure the estate is there for our clients, given whatever the medical disease, whether it's a senior with dementia, or a disabled child, or a child with mental disabilities. All our clients are concerned with, will my estate, large or small, keep me through my life?
How did you get that assignment? How did you find out about that, to get to be the power of attorney? Does that come from another estate organization?
No, they usually, when they ask if a client needs because of maybe their cognitive ability or their mental disability, and need someone to advocate for them. It is done through, as we can serve as a guardian of the estate and guardian of the person. That comes through the court system. So I work with trust attorneys, elder law attorneys. To become a power attorney, again, a legal, an attorney will draw that up. But it's an agreement with a client that they need somebody and they're ready to.
So what the loving nephew was doing, does that border on senior abuse?
Yes.
It does?
Yes, it does. We were in at her bank account together, getting that squared away, how she and I would work together. And as a matter of fact, that day, the banker, who had no relationship other than her banker, took off his glasses and said, I've got to tell you, from what I see on your bank account, that this is senior abuse. And he said the words, it is my responsibility as an advocate, fiduciary on your behalf, that I have to report him.
Wow.
So it was that serious, because he was doing this in 300, 530, I need this, I need that. And it is.
It makes you want to cry. Almost.
It does. It does.
It's really
because
sad.
it is the people closest to our seniors that are doing the abuse. And that's where having a care advocate, not a case manager, but a care manager there who knows the holistic, and we're making that equal, we can be there. We know environmental and psychosocially who are our clients interacting with. What's this strange name on a piece of paper I haven't seen here before? Who's Phil? Who's calling you? Who's saying that your car needs to have insurance, those calls where they go, they'll use the tricks in elder fraud of, now take your time and think. Don't you remember when we called you last week and you said blah, blah, blah?
Putting words into their mouth.
Yeah.
No, that's terrible. Well, the other question that comes to mind as you were talking, does IKOR accept Medicare and long-term care insurance products?
No, we don't. IKOR is a private pay. Now, as we look at long-term care insurance, is great for those who have it. However, long-term care policies don't cover the work that we do. Now, here's another example, case management, care management. We're care managers. I have a client who has a long-term care company that's been providing for her 24/7 in-home care. And they decided, after the case manager, which they do once a year, come in, review the client, review the case, And do we still need to pay for 24/7 care? Or can we cut it back? They decided they could cut it back to 4 hours. We came back and said, wait, you're going from 24/7 to 4 hours a day. And yes, she can walk with a walker. However, they didn't take into account she could only stand up for 10 seconds at a time.
Oh my gosh.
She has arthritis in both hands, so she can't hold her milk and pour it or whatever. She can't make her own meals.
Right.
You know, she does. Can she bathe? She can bathe the front of her, but she can't reach her back or other. She needs help.
Yeah.
You know, so we were able to successfully get the company to continue the 24/7.
Okay. Carrie, a question for you. Now, with long-term care insurance, if you don't need it for that, can you use the benefits for other things? Like in your home, if your person is sick and you decide to cash that policy in to take care of them?
Long-term care policy? No, long-term care insurance is something that you typically would start around age 50 and you pay every month. And it can only be you can only reap the benefits if you're unable to do 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. So if you can't bathe yourself, dress yourself, feed yourself, and such. But for example, I mentioned this before, my father's 92, and if he had long-term care insurance, he would have only been able to start using it about 2 months ago. My mother would have started using it, 10 years ago. But they didn't have it, and so that's why all of my siblings and I are paying every month to take care of them in assisted living. Wow. So it's one of those things: do I get it or don't I get it? Right. And that's why I'm so passionate about what it is that I do, because there are these other tools that are not very well known that I'd like to scream from the mountaintops to anybody who will listen. It's listen. Start now. I don't care that you're only 18. Start saving for your retirement. You don't know what's going to happen.
So you can start as early as 18?
You could get a policy for a 15-day-old baby that you just start putting $15, $20, $50 a month away for them and allow time and compounding interest to take effect. And you've got that child's, a lot of their college education compounding in the bank, as they're growing up. Wow. And then when they're old enough, or whenever you feel like, they're 21, it's like, okay, here are the payments, go ahead and take over. But they're so much more cost effective because they started when they were babies.
Right.
So at any age, it is, if you don't have insurance, it's just critical to get it.
Well, we're going to take a short station break. We will return soon, so don't touch that dial.
Join our mission to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. Every week we feature a medley of gifts from artists, performers, ministers, and more. Experience the Lord's everlasting light in the cool of the day.
Welcome back to The Real Secrets of Money. Ladies, we have a neat clip that Carrie brought with her today. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we're going to discuss how your individual organizations agrees or disagrees with the concept of this clip.
Meet Catherine. She's getting older and needs more care than her family can provide. Her daughter Beth realizes Mom needs professional senior care now. It's a tough decision, made tougher trying to figure out how to pay for the costs of senior care. Then, Beth remembers something she heard about converting life insurance into funds to pay for senior care while someone's still alive. This is exactly what her mother needs, since Catherine has a life insurance policy with premiums that are getting very costly. Beth does some research and finds valuable information about using life insurance to pay for senior care. She learns that an existing life insurance policy can be converted into a long-term care benefit plan with monthly payments to cover the costs of senior care. Whether that's home care, an assisted living community, a nursing home, or even Alzheimer's care or a hospice. And any type of life insurance could qualify. Universal or term policies with absolutely no cash value could still have a hidden value as immediate payments for senior care. And to think her mother was going to throw away her life insurance policy because she couldn't keep making the payments. Now, Catherine may be able to preserve her home and savings, and spare her family the strain and guilt of funding her care. Beth's happy to learn there are no costs or fees involved and no obligation once the policy is valued. If Mom qualifies and enrolls, the monthly benefit payments start immediately with no more life insurance premiums to pay ever again. But Catherine's a little skeptical. "What about money when I die? How will you pay for my funeral?" she asks. "It says right here," says Beth, reading, "the benefit plan reserves a portion of your account to help cover funeral expenses, and should you die before the entire account has been spent, any remaining balance will be paid to your family." Catherine's relieved she won't be a financial burden on her family, and Beth is happy she's found a way to get Mom the care she needs. They both finally feel in control of Catherine's care. The life insurance premiums Catherine's paid consistently for so many years will finally pay off now when she really needs it. Political leaders and advocacy groups across the country are endorsing this form of private pay for senior care. And it's an accepted form of payment by every home care, assisted living, and nursing home company in the United States. Convert your policy into a long-term care benefit and choose the form of care you want. Before you abandon your life insurance policy, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family to see if you qualify.
Carrie, that was a great video.
Wow. Yes.
Thank you. And what is called life care funding? Is that
Exactly,
what it's
exactly. It's a life settlement policy. Some people may have heard of viatical settlements, which is where you can sell your life insurance policy if you have been diagnosed with terminal illness within, with less than 24 months of life. This is a variation of that, where if you are able to sell your life insurance policy to a third-party company, and you'll get somewhere around the neighborhood of like 45% of your face value. So if you have a $100,000 life insurance policy, you might get around 45,000-ish of money. It goes into an irrevocable trust, and it's payable to companies like IKOR or the assisted living facility or the company that is providing care. You can't take it and go to the casinos.
Right.
It is specifically to be paying, it'll be paid to the service provider who's providing the care to your loved one. And it's so sad that when something comes up, these situations come up, and mom or dad needs to all of a sudden, they need to go into nursing home, or they need around-the-clock care, and all of a sudden the money's gone, the money runs out. I'm living this firsthand, by the way. The money runs out, and the family's like, okay, great, now we all need to dig into our pockets. Everybody, let's pony up and start paying those bills. What do you start doing? You look at how can we cut costs, and the life insurance would be the first thing to go, because it's like, okay, well, why do we need that? If we're paying, we might, But now you can sell that policy and have that money to provide however much time to pay for the care. And just add that much more for the services. So it's really a phenomenal service, and so just it's just something to look at.
And I've recently heard that some healthcare facilities are charging anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 a month, which is it just blows my mind.
It is, and Social Security only goes so far.
Right, right. So are there other products that you have that if people start early enough that can?
Well, there's a couple different types of products, but once someone is receiving services for in-home service, or they're in a facility of some type, most likely they're not. It's too late to get covered for long-term care insurance or life insurance of some kind. So in addition to the life settlement policy that's out there, it's not a policy because there's no premiums to pay, but to that item, someone who is in a facility or who's receiving care, they could go for an indexed annuity, where there's no health questions whatsoever. You just can't already be, well, depending on the annuity, some you can be in a facility and some you can't, but where you can roll over 401k money or take money out of stocks and investments and things like that. And the benefit of this indexed annuity is, one, it's not in the market, so if the market goes down as it has in the past few months, you're not losing any money.
Okay.
So then you have guaranteed income stream. When you turn on this, it has a lifetime income stream. So when you turn on that income stream, and then if you ever can't do 2 of those 6 activities of daily living, that income stream will double for the particular policies that have a wellness rider.
Oh, okay.
And then if there's any, and that is guaranteed for life. And then if, when the person dies, if there's any money still left, they haven't used it all up, then it becomes it goes to the beneficiary.
Okay.
So
All right,
that
so there are
is-
some alternatives
Oh, absolutely.
out there. That's good.
Absolutely.
And you know, Tia, and that's why it's important that Carrie and I work together and as a team, because I don't put myself out as a financial advisor.
Right.
I don't know all these products about which Carrie is expert in. And there's probably some things I know that Carrie couldn't handle for the company. But in working together, when we know what is the diagnosis of our client, favorable or un, and then what is their estate, what do they have to work with, we'd work together to make sure that the client has the money. Where is it coming from? How are we getting it? How long is it going to last? So that we can manage, you know, their life through the different processes. I have a client and she has long-term care. We had to start the premium. It took us 6 months. So it was coming from her estate with her wealth advisor, paying for it until we could get long-term care to cover it. And that finally kicked in. But it was aging in place, and this client does have Alzheimer's. So we let her age in place, and then there comes a point where it just is not, because of the disease, not feasible to stay at home. And we've moved her into memory care. And then we know, should she outlive her estate, we have plans of how do we manage Medicaid. Should her estate run out?
Here's a question. Have you found in your business that there are children and family members who are willing to get involved and have that person in the home or in, you know, somewhere with them as long as possible? Or is the whole thing is to try to get people in a long-term care facility or some facility?
No, aging in place is able to stay at home as long as possible.
As possible, that's good.
Now, there are cases where our the client who's come to us is a son or daughter, and we need help with mom or dad, and the daughter goes, it's okay, we got it clear, mom's going to come stay with me, you know, live with me. Well, when we're hired, I become the client, is the person I'm concerned with. I do the utmost for the client. And then the client comes to me and says, I don't want to move in with my daughter.
Oh, that's tough.
I'm happy in my home.
So you're in the middle of that.
So you're in the middle. But I am going to then work for my client to help her stay there, not the daughter who thinks she wants, because she's a loving daughter and takes care of her. But you don't necessarily, as a caregiver, is an extremely difficult position to be in. Right.
The other question I want to make sure that we get to cover, I want to know a little bit more about IKOR. And I'm hoping you're a family-friendly organization and the employees get along and you love each other. Tell us a little bit more about IKOR and the staff.
Oh, sure, happy to. Well, I'm managing director. I have 15 years as a program manager with the federal government until I retired and started my own business with IKOR. It is a family business. My daughter is my assistant managing director, so it's a mother-daughter company, which does well for succession because we serve in fiduciary capacity as power of attorney, guardian. Anything happens to me, my daughter knows where to go, who to contact. Likewise, we benefit from being a franchise because if something happens to both my daughter and I, the franchise knows how to come in and take care of our clients until that is done. But my staff, I'm glad you asked that, Tia, because I have 2 types of staff. They are a registered nurse, 10 years experience, other qualifications, but 10 years clinical experience, and she's trained in our IKOR process of advocacy. So it's just not a rote process you've gotten from a book and I know how to do it. And then I have a personal needs coordinator, and she takes care of everything outside the medical realm. So we are a medical-based assessment when we do it. My registered nurse will do the assessments, and we work together as a team. And I think the easiest way to think about it is the nurse goes in and does our assessments, and she finds out that the client needs a wheelchair. So she'll come home and back to the office and tell the personal needs coordinator, this person needs a wheelchair, and here are the specifications and how big or small, et cetera, that we need to get. The personal needs coordinator will get the wheelchair, but oh, by the way, now that you need a wheelchair, you need a ramp to the front door to get in and out. So we will then be the program manager, project manager to get that ramp built.
So your door widened.
Yes, we're close-knit. We have meetings twice a month of the whole staff, and we review all our clients.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So all the staff know what's involved with each person, and what that does is helps us think outside the box. They do have specific clients they're assigned to, but it's, you know, I'm doing this for Johnny. Can you think of anything else, or is there something I haven't thought of?
Right.
And so it works very well.
So that works well.
Yes.
Well, ladies, we are just about out of time. I want to take this time to thank you so much, and I'm hoping that we can do this again, because we didn't cover all of our questions, and there's so much more that we can talk about. So thank you both for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, Carrie. Good to see you.
You too.
Well, folks, our time is up. And I hope that you have enjoyed this show and that you are thinking more about the services and products that are available to assist you with any special needs situations that may be in your life or the lives of your families and friends. Have a great day, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.